Everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the range. Today we have another exciting episode in our series where we're testing self-defense rounds for the 5.7 by 28 cartridge. In particular, today we're going to be looking at this T6B ammunition from Elite Ammunition. Should be a lot of fun. Let's get to shooting. Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we've got another exciting episode. We're going to be taking a look at the 5.7 by 28 cartridge. In particular, we're going to take a look at this particularly nasty looking round. It's the T6B. It's supposed to be a projectile that when it hits its intended target, it splits and fractures, and so you'll have multiple projectiles going in multiple different directions. We're going to be testing that out. It's supposed to be one of the better rounds for self-defense. We're also going to be taking a look at it out of three different guns that we have here today. We have the Ruger LC Charger, we have the PSA Rock, and we have the other PSA Rock. One is the threaded barrel, one is the non-threaded barrel. It will also show us how barrel length has an impact on terminal effectiveness of this round. We're going to be doing some gel tests, some velocity tests with our Garmin, and we're also going to be trying out a little bit of accuracy, more like practical accuracy. Should be a good fun time today. Let's get to shooting. Here's this T6B cartridge. You can see it has a little bit cut out here so that it can get some fracturing and have two pieces tumbling through the target. All right, well, we have this Elite Ammunition, the 27 grain T6B. We're going to see how it performs out of the non-threaded barrel 4.7 inch PSA Rock. And we skippy-daddled it through. Let's see if we can do a little bit better of it. Okay, well, let's just take a look and see what happened with this. My apologies for not having the tape measure up when we first shot it, but what happened is we entered the gel block right here. It's the only wound track, although there was a little bit of wounding that happened on a previous shot that I hit too high in the gel block. Goes along here, and we get our final impact of one of the cores at about 17 inches and our other core at about 9 inches. Again, it did split in half, and that's what it's supposed to do. We see it has fairly decent wounding, but we see that in terms of 5.7, this is very good penetration in this gel. You know, it's okay. I mean, this is a small round. It's a 0.57 or 5.7 millimeter cartridge, which is the same as 22. So in terms of, you know, explosion velocity, this is a small pistol cartridge. This is okay. This is actually what I would call a really good self-defense round. The one thing that I'm going to ding it for is we get good explosion again out to that 4 or 5 inch mark. We get two separate wound troughs as we see the top go off, but it's veering over here in this direction. So we came in here and it's moving to the top. And we see it continuing on, and then there's the bullet right down in there, right at that 17 inch mark. We have our threaded barrel version. We're going to see how we do with this slightly longer barrel. So how it does in the gel. Well, that last round took a nosedive and then skipped out of the table. We only caught half of it. I want to shoot one more just in case. All right, that looks better. Okay, well, let's just take a quick look and see where we got with all of this. The first shot that I had, it actually hit right here. So that's not a bad spot, but it just deviated so far down. We have one of the projectiles out at about 13 inches. The other projectile, I think, either went out from the bottom somewhere in there. It looks like it might have skipped out down here. Now, crazy thing is when I first got up here after it shot, I heard something spinning on the table, but I couldn't find it. So we did a second shot and that went here, and that performed a little bit more like the first. We got a little bit deeper penetration with that longer barrel and the higher velocity out of the first shot. So we got the first pedal or the top of the bullet out to about 10 inches. And then we can see down here, or maybe you can't see, but our second bullet is down here at about 18 inches versus the 17, about an inch deeper of penetration. Let me pick up the camera, make everybody seasick. The top kind of disturbance is the first shot with a non-threaded barrel. Right below it is the shot that we just took. You can see it curved even further with additional velocity. The top of the bullet, if we can see, if we can get a little bit better detail on what those projectiles look like. And then the bigger chunk of it continued on almost in the same direction. So it's curving left from the eye of the shooter, out to 17 and 18 inches. 17 is the non-threaded barrel and 18 is the threaded barrel. So that ½ inch is making a difference. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this shot somewhere in between all of those shots so we have a clear view of it. All right, let's see what that did. See, with the higher velocities that we're getting out of that 10.5 inch barrel, at least I believe we're seeing quite a bit more sort of explosion that's happening in here. Let me get that tape measure up so you can see the lengths at which they're happening. Oh, we're kind of breaking our tape measure too. So at about 2, so a little bit earlier on, at about 2 inches, we're seeing that big explosion and the deviation that's happening for the first projectile. First projectile left the gel at about 7 inches. I'm sure it would have gone a little bit longer. But then it finally ends up at about, the core of it ends up at about 20 inches. So I think that's pretty good penetration for this round. Definitely something that I think should be considered, although it really is bothering me, the deviation with the handguns. Let's see what's going on. I don't mind the two projectiles going in different directions. We can see here it entered. This one didn't deviate as much. It came up and out of the gel at about at this point. And then it continued on and on and on. And then it's right here. That's it. That's the bullet right there at about that 19-20 inch mark. Yep. So up here at about that 19-20 inch mark. So I think those are great rounds. It does bother me how they in the handguns are deviating, but with that rifle, it went in pretty straight. All right, well, let's do some velocity testing with this non-threaded 4.7 inch barrel from PSA, the PSA Rock. See how we do with this T6B ammunition from Elite. Again, it's a 27 inch projectile. I'm not catching that. Let's see if we can catch it now. Got it. 22-24. 22-16. Gotta be closer to this. 22-16.0. So we've caught 3 shots. That's our 4th shot because it missed the first one. 22:02.6. Let's just check our session summary here. We had a min of 22:02, a max of 22:24. That's pretty good. 21 feet. That's, I mean, it could be better, but it's not terrible. For an average of 14.7. We had a standard kinetic energy of 294.0. That's not bad at all. Why don't we see what happens when we move up in barrel length? All right, well, we had some technical difficulties moving to this 5.3 inch PSA Rock with this Elite ammunition. So I did shoot one. It's 2305. I think I had it set on the slow pistol setting instead of the fast pistol setting. This is cooking, so 2300. The previous one I tested was also on the fast setting. I just messed it up when I reset the group. So hopefully we're good now. 2349, that's very nice. 2322. 2322.4. See if we can get one more. And 2390. Okay, so we ended up getting 4 shots. I was hoping to get 5. Let's check our session summary. For a min, we had 2305. For a max, 2390, or an average of 2342. And we had a pretty big extreme spread of 80. But when you take a look at the average kinetic energy, we're up over 300 energy foot-pounds, which is well into the 9mm territory. So 328.9 energy foot-pounds. That's very nice out of that threaded barrel version. Let's go up to the Ruger LC Charger now. Okay, we have the Ruger LC Charger. 2703, 2684, 2665, and that's our 4-shot group, and 2700. For our session summary, we had a min of 2665, max of 2703, and an average of 2688. That's very nice. And an average kinetic energy of 433. That's a very nice round for 5.7. All right, well, we're out at 10 yards. We're going to shoot this gun without the threaded barrel. We'll see how it performs. So definitely off center for where I have this zeroed, which doesn't matter. That could be it, but not a great group. I think I can shoot better, but I maybe can't shoot irons better. So we'll see how we do with the dot on top. Okay, well, we have 5 rounds of this T6B and our threaded barrel. Let's see how it does. We'll shoot the middle target. So definitely the dot is over to the left, but that one that I threw, I don't think I threw it. Okay, well, we have this LC Charger. We're going to be shooting this at 10 yards. You may say, that's ridiculous. Why are you shooting a rifle at that distance? Well, 1, self-defense distances, especially with this 5.7, are going to be much closer. 2, I have a video of me shooting 100 yards, but here we go. Let's see how it performs with our 5 shots. And let's see how I perform. Looks like it's right on, but I got dead trigger. We did not eject the round. It did not cycle. Well, you know, could it be that the barrel isn't cleaned? It could be, but I'm only seeming to have problems with some of these. I've never had problems shoot with this LC Charger until recently. I've had it with the AAC ammunition and now with this T6B ammunition. Okay, well, let's wrap things up. Today we took a look at that Elite Ammunition T6B 27 grain projectile out of our 3 different barrel lengths. We saw in the gel it performed pretty good. We had some deviation over to the left. But overall, I think it would be a devastating round, cause a lot of damage if you were hitting on the target. If you're aiming for a vital, it could be enough deviation to swing it left or right and that it wouldn't cause the intended damage that you're looking for. We saw the spreads were just a little bit bigger than some of the other rounds that we've been testing, and we did have a malfunction with the LC Charger. Could it be the gun? It absolutely could, but I'm not seeing it with some of the other cartridges unless we're talking about the AAC ammunition, which I continue to have issues with. So these are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a round that you find is acceptable? I think it's very good. It also has some very good characteristics when we're talking about soft body armor. I think it's overall a well-designed cartridge. We're getting tremendously good velocities out of it, so it's putting just really great impact on target. So let me know what you guys think. I hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.